Morning, guys. Welcome to Up the Reds. Thanks for joining. This is my match day preview of Barnsley against Stoke on Saturday. Big 6-pointer in the Sky Bet Championship, 3 o'clock kickoff. As you can probably tell with the background, I'm at Otwell today. I was going to do an outside video from the Ponty end or just outside here, but it's absolutely chucking it down. So I'm only on an iPhone 8, and I think that'll probably not best idea with that phone. So I'm going to stay in the car again. So the preview, last night, Stoke City, who are our direct rival, the team below us in the league, played West Bromwich Albion and lost 2-0. In my previous video, I said that Alex Neil was going to be their manager, and he turned them down. So they're currently without a manager. I think Rory Delap was in charge last night. And to be fair, I watched some of the game, and they haven't improved particularly, although West Brom are a good side, as we know, and we're probably predicted to win anyway. We're not sure if they're going to get another manager in by the weekend. There's no news on that. If you look at the betting, for them, it's all pretty even. A lot of people were shouting Tony Pulis last night, so you never know. They might better the devil, innit? So maybe they'll go back to him, but last night they changed system a little bit, and they brought Jack Butland in, who Barnsley fans know from his loan spell a few years back, and they played three at the back with Liam Lindsay in there. So it didn't particularly work well for them last night, and they had a few players missing, like James McLean and people like that, who would probably fit into that system better, but they didn't play well. There's nothing to fear. We need to show up. So for Barnsley news, again with the manager situation, there's no news, which in my eyes is good news. I want Adam Murray to stay. I think he's shown enough. We've got no right to win every game in this league. We've got no right to win any game. You've got to earn that right, and the players are fighting to earn that right at the moment, and that's due to the change of system, which I think is to do with Adam Murray. So in my eyes, he's probably done enough to get the job. But obviously Saturday is absolutely critical. It's absolutely critical. You're going to say mustn't lose, and that is the base point. We can't lose. But this is a game we have to win. We have to win it. All right. If we've got any aspirations of staying up in this league and keeping in touch, Saturday is a must-win game. There were a lot of positives on Friday. I thought there were some really good performances, some not so good, some switching off. The good performances for me were Collins, couldn't do anything with the goals. I think Arpo Ham, I said before the season Arpo Ham would be our best signing of the crop, and I think I'm being proved probably right with that. He's assured, he's tall, he's solid, he doesn't do anything particularly stupid. I think his debut against Carlisle, when he made a really big rick and a really big error, probably was the best thing that could happen to Arpo Ham, because now he's safety first, but he's still got that quality about him. He can carry the ball forward, and I really like him. I think he's going to be a big player for us in the coming years. I think Mowatt's doing better with Dougal behind him. I love Dougal. Dougal's great. Everything's all right at the moment. I don't like Wilkes starting, and I'm not going to go on about Wilkes, and I think that if he gets his head right, he's going to be quality. I just hope it's not in League One if he doesn't perform, because we need somebody up front and on that wing who's going to perform. For me, Luke Thomas has to start on Saturday. He was absolutely brilliant when he came on against Bristol and showed everything that Barnsley fans want from that kind of player. He showed the fight, he showed the energy, he showed quality, and I think he should be starting certainly in that position where Wilkes was. I've said before, Wilkes needs time in the under-23s. There's a game here today against Crewe at 2 o'clock, and I'll be interested to see if Wilkes plays in that one, because if he starts, I don't think he'll play at the weekend. So we'll see how that goes. I was going to stick around for that, but why do 23 games kick off at 2 o'clock? You know, people who want to go watch that have got kids or the work. Very strange time to kick off, I think. Very strange. I would love to have gone to that game today, but obviously you can't do it. Um, so team for me would be on Saturday would be the same. I think that, except I would bring Thomas in for Wilkes. I thought Schmidt made an impact when he came on, just positional, because he stays in the box. He stays in the box and he occupies other defenders and possibly makes space for Woodrow to do his stuff. And it's another option. So for me, I would pick the same 11 other than Wilkes for Thomas. And I think if we start early and we get an early goal, from what I saw last night, the Stoke heads went down. So there's no reason why we can't get a result in that game. But we need to, and I'm saying it again, but the errors have to stop. The errors have to stop, because even at a time, even against a team like Stoke who are struggling, you give them easy chances, it's going to break us. So fingers crossed we keep it tight. Fingers crossed we are energetic and dynamic, and fingers crossed we get that all important 3 points. And then that leads into the international break. So absolutely critical. I can't say it anymore. It's going to be, I think it's going to be tense, but we can take confidence that we should have more wins on the board, and that was basically like a win Friday. It was like a win. The feeling when Woodrow scored, I think we all went home or left that game happy and optimistic. Now we've been let down with optimism before. I thought we would get a result at Huddersfield, but this is different. We're at home. It's our patch. It's our field. It's our home, and we need to show them it's our home on Saturday. We need to get at them, and if we get a win there, we can build and we can get ready for the Middlesbrough game and the Blackburn game, which are also critical. Blackburn are only lower mid-table, and Middlesbrough are struggling a lot. And I'm not saying we're entitled to go there and get results, but what I am saying is that we'll be in a better shape and a better confidence to go there and perform. So fingers crossed we get the right result, and if there's any manager news before the weekend, I will post it on here or on my Twitter page if you want to follow me on Twitter, @Claire. But I don't think it'll happen. I think they'll wait for this game and we'll see how it goes. Incidentally, Paul Heckingbottom was sacked from Hibernian yesterday and suddenly came in at 12-1 and then 8-1 to be our manager again. Now, I put a poll out yesterday on Twitter asking people, would you take him back? Would you take him back? And I think the 86% said no. So I really hope the board don't go that way. I don't think they will. But we don't need any more fan board unrest, because the board have already got it they've got it wrong. They've got it majorly wrong with the transfer remit, and they've rightly or wrongly I'm not sure if Stendhal leaving was the right or wrong decision, based on if Stendhal would still be here, would we still be defensively suicidal? So we're certainly more stable now he's gone. So I love Stendhal, but we couldn't carry on like what were happening. So for me, we don't want Heckingbottom back because there's enough fan unrest, and Conway probably don't. We don't need that. We don't need that shit now. We need to unite, because we are stuck in a situation where we've got a crop of young lads fighting for their lives, and they are fighting for their lives. If anybody tells me that them lads aren't trying, other than the odd one or two, they're wrong, because them lads are trying the bollocks off, and we need to give them every support we possibly can to get through. And then if in January the board decide they want to spend money, great, but the likely of it is that nothing particularly will change. They'll stick with this remit. Personally, I think the board wouldn't be that bothered if we went down. We've already proved that successful League One players can command high transfer fees. Look at Ethan Pinnock, 3 million, whatever. Liam Lindsay. We've got a decent chunk for Bradshaw. So I'm not sure if going down will particularly bother this board. I'm not sure. I don't know if that's right. That sounds wrong when you say it, but they just want to reinvest and reinvest and reinvest. And I think if it takes, I think personally, if it takes 5 years to become a successful championship team by going up and down, I think that's what they'll do. Because it's like an experiment. It's like on Football Manager when you buy all these young players like 18, 19 years old, and you develop and develop and develop and you take them on, and then it's no different. It's like playing a computer game to them, in my opinion. And we're not going to like that every week but eventually these players will come good. I hope it's in time to save this season, but if it's not, we're going to absolutely kill League One because look at the players we are. Even if let's say Woodrow goes, we've still got players who can hit League One in our team hard. So it's tough to understand. I wish the board had just come out and say this. And we've heard nothing from the board recently, nothing. And I think if that's the standpoint where they don't want to buy any players still over 25, and if that's going to cause an issue, they need to come out and say it, and then we all know where we stand. And if you want to boo, boo, and if you don't want to boo and you want to get behind them, get behind them. But I just think that teams go out of business due to people wanting people out of football clubs sometimes, and they're not trying to wreck us. They're just trying to do it in a certain way that we don't all agree with. So it's going to divide opinion, but I'm always behind the badge. No matter what 11 goes out on that field Saturday, I'm behind them, and I just hope that heads are switched on and we get a result and we can move forward. Because the more we move forward, the more these players will develop, and the more confidence we'll get, and it's a snowball effect. So fingers crossed, and I will post a match review on Sunday, and I'm crossing everything. So up the Reds.